Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Verville. This plot of land shown on the screen right now has been sitting empty there for quite some time. I didn't have any specific plans for this area. As a matter of fact, I was actually not sure at all what exactly I should build there, because the land plot has kind of a strange shape to it, with some difficult aspects that you have to bring together somehow. For instance, there's the main city highway that's cutting right through the city. On the other side is the river, or the outlet for the river power plant, with quite a strong current to it. And on the two other sides there's the connection to the old town and some main road. So I decided to do some mod magic here and just import the finished area. Yeah, just kidding. Obviously someone else has built this beautiful district here. I just wanted to show you quickly the import process in advance. Maybe you want to do something like that too, because City Skylines doesn't have a multiplayer feature. But like that you can somehow build together on a city. So all you have to do is basically just marking all the stuff you want to export, and then go to the little triangle in the Move It mod and press the export button and name the area you wanted to export. And I'm pretty sure you also want to export PO stuff, and that unfortunately doesn't work with the Move It mod. So you have to mark all your PO stuff separately and export it with the dedicated procedural objects mod you can see in the top right corner of the screen. And yeah, all you have to do then is import the new section. There are two buttons, import and restore button. When you press restore, it places this area or this build exactly where it has been exported from. I didn't want to do that here because I was afraid of overlaying roads and buildings and stuff like that. So I basically just wanted to be sure that I don't have assets and things twice in one place. So I was just very carefully deleting all the stuff that didn't belong to the guest build and just prepared the area to drag it over to the place where it belongs. Okay, and here we are. As you probably saw in the title already, the guest builder for today's episode is VerumPositor, and I gave him this place here to build on. And as I know, VerumPositor is very good in making these very detailed places, and I thought this little plot would be fitting perfectly for this purpose. Okay, VerumPositor, you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, sure. Hello guys, my name is VerumPositor and I'm a YouTuber for City Skylines. Some of you might know my actual series of Winterby, in which I'm detailing a northern German city. And yeah, CityScapes, it was very fun to build in your city. I really like it to go into someone else's build and to deal with the plot that you gave me here. And yeah, it was a really fun build.
What was the biggest challenge for you to do here?
From my actual perspective of Winterby, because Winterby is a really flat map. I made this map on purpose because of its flatness. And the challenge here for me was to build again on a very difficult terrain. So you guys can't see this on this shot, but the elevation difference in this area is pretty high, because you have a very high level and then you have the low level on the seaside. So it was quite fun to deal with it.
Yeah, welcome to Switzerland. We have to change these difficulties all the time, and it's pretty much a topic of this whole series, building in difficult terrain. But yeah, it looks already awesome. So,
thanks, man.
What do you think? Should we dive in?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, let's have a closer look here. What exactly is here on the screen?
So, guys, you see in the background this row of Renaissance houses, which came with the save game. So that's what Cityscape already built, and the Riverside was empty or not detailed yet. And so I thought, which build could be realistic here? And then I remembered a trip to Konstanz on the Bodensee in the south of Germany, and
Almost Switzerland.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a fun inspiration to take because it's like the common ground between us two, Germany and Switzerland. And there I saw a really nice lido on the lake, and I thought, this could be quite interesting here. And so I took the Casimireum by Titan, the building in the front, and then I thought I would like to have a lido here. So I built those seawalls, and on the right corner you can see those stairs down to the river, and that's something very common on those lidos in urban areas. So people can directly walk into the river or into the water, and I thought this would fit here very good. And I also remember that in the summer months many cities decorate their river banks, or they detail the quay with palm trees, which are planted in pots. And during the summer month, they pull them out of the space where they are during the winter months. And yeah, it gives some Mediterranean vibes here. And I remember also in Switzerland, you quite have often in some lower areas of Switzerland some palm trees, aren't you?
Yeah, I just want to mention palm trees don't actually grow in this climate here, except for the Italian part of Switzerland where they naturally grow, interestingly. But yeah, that was actually a really nice touch you added here with these colorful planters. And yeah, who knows, maybe there's a restaurant or a bar or something like that to put them out during the summer month.
So another thing I added here is this parking lot, and that's also something I remember from visiting old towns in Germany and Switzerland, or I mean all over the place. It's a common thing that during the 70s many cities used their land on the riversides to add parking spaces, narrow parking spaces, because as you could imagine, the old town, it's very difficult to find a parking spot. And so for tourists and also for people who are living or working in the old town, many cities have utilized space where they could for parking spots. And also thought it would be a nice addition here to the Lido to have a little parking area here where tourists can directly jump into the old town.
Probably it's freaking expensive to park there.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pay like €3 for an hour.
Swiss francs, you mean?
Swiss francs. Yeah, we are in Switzerland.
Okay, yeah, it looks absolutely perfect in my opinion. And now let's move on to the marketplace here. What was your thought process behind this one?
So I knew this spot was not directly the center of the old town or the oldest part of the city, as you told me. But it was some kind of city expansion in the 16th and 17th century. And so I thought it would be nice to have a little market square or like a focal point of the whole quarter on the other side of the river. And that's why I built this central square here. And the big building there with the Swiss flags, I thought would be a nice spot for like a district city hall. It's also something you quite often see in cities. And in front of it, due to the elevation difference, I made this terrace here, this upper terrace with the fountain and some restaurant tables. And on the lower part of the square, I thought this would be a nice spot for a weekly food market. Or in fact, there is stuff like for everything. So it's very versatile market here. And I also added this bus stop. Once again, for tourist destinations, it would be a nice place where people can jump out of the bus and take their journey through the old town. I also added this representative building on the left side because the angle of the building is perfect for this spot.
That's always very satisfying when the angle of the building fits perfectly to the road layout.
Yeah, I mean, I have to commit that that I first place the building and then lay down the road network.
Yeah, that's always a nice trick to do. I especially like the very wide stairs you build over there to that upper plaza there.
It's a nice area for people to chill there in the summer months, take a little break from the market, or just chill there. And I also added this modern block building there on the middle of the screen, and I imagine it to be like a tourist information. So people who are coming out of the bus can first go there and get some flyers for the old town, which places they should definitely visit in the city. So that were my thoughts here on this corner. Maybe we go on to the next one.
Yes, sure. Okay, now we are right in the heart of this little old town district, and we have another plaza with a restaurant, as it seems. Or what exactly did you build here?
Yeah, so you're completely right. Another plaza here, and that's something you have in the old towns of European cities so often. Every second corner there is another plaza or a little spot where the buildings were arranged that light can fall into the different houses because the streets are so narrow and they have to get their lighting, and that's why there are so many plazas. And in this spot here I decided to build like this nice obelisk fountain on a platform. So you have the elevations on the left and the right side of this plaza, and then this platform with the obelisk on it. So it's a Nibble fountain by Lost Gecko, and around it I placed another restaurant, and that's something I really like about it. The umbrellas, I scaled them up using PO, so they are really big, and one may think they are unrealistic big, but it's something from the last few years that such umbrellas exist, so they are really big in real life, and I wanted to build something like this here in this old town.
Yeah, you told me about these umbrellas and even showed me some real life pictures, and it almost looks unrealistic in real life. It's pretty funny. Okay, moving on to the next place here. What exactly is that building here?
So once again, it's a building which is functioning as a high school. So you never have to worry about your education level here in the city, because in-game it's all functioning as a school. But I imagine this building to be armory. So in German it's called Zeughaus, something you definitely remember also from the Switzerland.
Oh yeah, sure.
And the reason why I put this here is I imagine this part of the district to be the outer part of the city in Renaissance and Baroque era. And you can also later see on the overview that here the shape of the streets and also of the green vegetation is laid down in the form of the fortification in this era. So the term for this kind of fortification from the late Renaissance is called, or from the Baroque era to be precise, is called a Vaubonesque citadel, named after the Minister for Defense and Fortifications, Vauban, in the time of Louis XIV. And it was common that European monarchs mimicked this kind of fortification in all of Europe. And that's the reason why the building here is angled in this very sharp form here on the left side of the screen. And yeah, for me, it's so fun to see those little details, like the angle of an existing building today, and you can't see the original fortification anymore, but the buildings and the streets that were built around and over it later, they follow those forms. And that's something very interesting to know in the background, because it makes the city look so more realistic. And yeah, it's like this hidden detail or the hidden thing behind it.
And that's exactly the stuff why I wanted to invite you, because I have no idea about all that background stuff. And yeah, you add all these details to my city, and it's just insane to now have also these kind of details in my city. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. I mean, that's my job as an historian to know about this.
Okay, let's move the camera over to the monastery here, which looks absolutely awesome. Do you know who built this one?
It's an earlier building by Titan. It came out, I think, 2 years ago already. And yeah, I absolutely love this building. And I had the vision to use this building here since I first opened your map, because this building is perfectly suited for difficult terrain, because you have this entrance on the upper level here. It's this entrance to the church, to this Baroque church building. So here you can see the entrance on the other side of the building is, I think, 2 levels below the entrance on the other side. And yeah, this makes this building perfectly suited for this area here.
One thing I personally love about that asset is the copper roof, because there are so few assets and buildings on the workshop, or especially churches, with these copper roofs. And yeah, I think that really adds a ton of realism to the city.
Speaking about realism, it's also so common for European cities. I mean, for some of you American viewers, maybe it seems a little odd to have this very old church here and then the city highway directly passing next to it. But that's so common to Europe because the space is so narrow and you have to fit modern structures directly in the center of the old town sometimes. And yeah, I think it's quite interesting to have this here.
Yeah, you told me about that they, I can't remember which city exactly it was, but you told me about a city in Germany where they built this kind of ring road on the old city fortification.
Ah, yeah, you're speaking about Frankfurt am Main. But yeah, it's a little bit different than here, because in Frankfurt it's not a city highway that is surpassing the old town, but you have a ring road, which is like an arterial road in the city, and the ring road is laid down on the outskirts of the Vaubonesque citadel fortification, and like in one-way streets and looking from above, and you have the shape of the old star fortress visible on the actual road map. So now we are closing this circular viewing tour.
Yeah, okay, this has already been it for today. Again, thank you so much, VerumPositor, for this awesome build. It really adds a lot to the city, and finally this plot has been filled, and the city feels very well connected now.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was such a fun to build here, and a little challenge for me to build on elevation again.
Yeah, and I know I will definitely consult you again when I'm trying to build the old town of Verville, because you have so much knowledge about the old road layouts and all that stuff. And yeah, I'm really happy to call you again sometime.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah, his current project is Windbee, and if you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. Okay, VerumPositor, maybe you will be back, or in reverse, I will visit Windbee. Who knows? Time will tell.
Yeah, that would be really awesome, and I think we will find a nice spot for you to build in Windbee.
I'm looking forward to that. Okay, guys, that's been it. Really hope you enjoyed, and looking forward to see you in the next one.